A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant military operation, the United States has conducted a drone strike in the Caribbean Sea, resulting in the death of 11 individuals allegedly linked to drug trafficking. The White House has characterized these individuals as narco-terrorists, claiming they were operating a vessel that was transporting drugs from Venezuela to the U.S. President Donald Trump, who shared footage of the attack on his social media platform, Truth Social, asserted that the boat was connected to the Tren de Aragua cartel, which he accused of being controlled by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. The night vision footage depicts a fast-moving boat engulfed in flames after being struck by a missile. Trump warned that this should serve as a stern warning to anyone contemplating drug trafficking into the United States, stating, "Beware." He emphasized that there were a lot of drugs in that boat, and reiterated that the shipment originated from Venezuela. This drone strike marks a notable escalation in the already strained relations between Washington and Caracas. Just a day prior, Maduro accused the U.S. of attempting regime change in Venezuela, further heightening tensions. In response to the U.S. military's presence in the Caribbean, Maduro declared that Venezuela would be prepared to defend itself against any naval incursions, referring to a potential republic in arms. U.S. naval forces have been mobilizing in the region, ostensibly to combat drug trafficking, but officials in Caracas have raised concerns that this could be a pretext for military intervention. Trump elaborated on the operation, stating that the strike targeted a vessel involved in smuggling drugs for the Tren de Aragua gang, which he labeled as a foreign terrorist organization responsible for various crimes, including mass murder and drug trafficking. The strike occurred while the terrorists were at sea in international waters transporting illegal narcotics, heading to the United States, Trump asserted, confirming that no U.S. forces were harmed during the operation. Legal experts have since weighed in, suggesting that the U.S. may have violated international law and human rights regulations with this strike. The U.S. is not a signatory to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which generally prohibits interference with vessels in international waters, except in specific circumstances. Experts argue that while the use of force may be justified in self-defense, the aggressive tactics employed in this case could be deemed unlawful. Critics have pointed out that labeling the individuals killed as narco-terrorists does not inherently make them legitimate military targets, especially since the U.S. is not officially engaged in an armed conflict with Venezuela or the Tren de Aragua cartel. The implications of this strike extend beyond immediate military concerns, raising questions about the legality of the action under international law, particularly regarding the right to life. As the situation develops, U.S. officials have defended the operation, with Republican lawmakers praising the strike as a decisive action against drug trafficking. However, questions remain regarding the legal justification for the strike and whether it complied with U.S. law, particularly the War Powers Resolution, which requires the president to consult Congress before engaging in military actions. The Pentagon has not disclosed the legal rationale behind the strike, and the details surrounding the operation remain murky. Meanwhile, Maduro's government has yet to issue a formal response to the attack, although government officials have suggested that the footage shared by the U.S. may have been manipulated or generated using artificial intelligence. As tensions continue to rise, the international community watches closely to see how this incident will affect U.S.-Venezuela relations and broader geopolitical dynamics in the region. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.